Hi guys, how are you doing? It's Elaine, Bintz, certified health coach and personal trainer, and we are on day 21. We are 3 weeks into our 30-day challenge. I hope everybody is having a great new year, and I hope you're having a great week. We are heading into a weekend, so I hope you're going to have an awesome weekend ahead of you. So today wraps up our series of 6 videos on strength ratios. So the topic we're going to go over today are ankles. And there's actually 4 different motions that we're going to discuss. And the ankle, I've worked with a lot of like dancers, soccer players, some hockey players, and some figure skaters, and they've had to do some ankle rehab. So if you have had some ankle injuries, word has it that if you do injure your ankles one time, the propensity or the likelihood to re-injure your ankles is much greater. And that's common for a lot of the joints. But ankles in particular, once you have an injury, unless you specifically train your ankles and strengthen the muscles that are supporting the ankles, I do know a lot of people that have had the same exact injury more than once in the ankle. So I highly suggest, even if you're not an athlete participating in those particular activities, everyday living, you don't want to slip and fall on the ice. And depending on the grip you have in your boots or your shoes, you might not even be able to support your weight depending on where you're walking. So please, if you do have any opportunity to do balance exercises, everybody who trains with me knows I love balance. So it's not just about supporting your weight and working your core, but also making sure your ankles are strong. So the movement. So today, your ankle, your foot will go into what's called plantar flexion, which is pointing. That's plantar flexion, which works the back of the leg, the gastrocnemius, or people call it the calves. And then dorsiflexion, the dorsal, the top part of the foot. Dorsiflexion is pulling your toe upward. So there is this muscle in front of your lower leg called the anterior tibialis. So it's in front of the tibia bone, which is a bone, this big bone that runs in the lower leg. And the point is the muscular ratio or muscle balance for plantar flexion is 3-to-1. So the muscles in the back, these really big, meaty muscles, they're calves, they're gastrocnemius. You have the soleus and you have the gastroc. So those are the muscles in the back compartment of the lower leg. They should be able to lift more. So if you're doing movement, you're going on your tippy toes, you're running, you're jumping, you're sprinting, these sorts of activities, you really need to have strong plantar flexion. So the ratio, 3-to-1. What would be an everyday example of this? So I'm going to take you over to the stairs. So the example I'm going to use with a dumbbell is using a 15-pound dumbbell. So we're going to head over to my stairs. So if I had a weight available and you had a stair, you could grab a weight that is something, in order to assess you, to do it in an easy denomination of 3, you could have 3, which is the 15-pound weight, and then a 5-pound hand weight for a dorsiflexion to see if you have this muscular balance. So then you stand on the stair on the balls of your feet and you lift up and then drop your heels down. So this motion exercises what's called plantar flexion. And then to check on the other end, if you have a 5-pound hand weight, let's say you sit at a chair, and this is something one of my cross-country coaches taught me in high school, because I tended to have, I'm a former long-distance runner, and I used to have shin splints, and I used to get just discomfort in the front here, so that I had to strengthen the muscle in the front compartment of my lower leg. So if you have a weight that is a third of the weight you use for calf raises, so 5 pounds is a third of 15, you sit with some back support and you can lay that weight right about where the end of your shoelaces are, and you can drop the weight and lift, and this strengthens that tibialis anterior, that muscle that's in the front of the lower leg. And then the other 2 movements, so if you are somebody who so let's say, I don't know, it's January, say you've gone ice skating, and you notice your ankles were very wobbly, and you struggled maybe to cross over, or that you didn't quite have the motion in order to glide and open your hips. So you may lack strength in either inversion or eversion. So if you are moving your foot inside, that is inversion, and if you're moving it outside, that is eversion. So this ankle motion is different than plantar flexion and dorsiflexion. This one, inversion and eversion, you want a 1-to-1 ratio. So oftentimes you'll see, like in different sports, if somebody trips on like a divot in the grass or something, they may invert and then strain or pull muscles on the lateral compartment or the outside edge of the ankles, and then they have to strengthen these movements with things like a circle band. So say, for example, you had a lower end. This is one of the easiest bands. This is a lower intensity particular band. So as you change the colors like green and blue and black, you're going to increase your intensity. So if you've never done these types of exercises, I would highly suggest you start with a yellow circle band. And then you use this. So again, find a place to sit, and then you would wrap this band around the outside of your foot, and you could literally push your foot outward, and you would want to use the same resistance as moving the foot inward to practice this strengthening for these movements, inversion and eversion. So you want a 1-to-1 ratio with moving your foot inside to invert at the ankle and then to evert at the ankle. So again, I thank you guys for your patience. I know these strength ratio videos may not have been the most exciting, but what I found over the years is if you have a better understanding of how the joints should work, it makes it a little bit easier to analyze what you're doing in everyday movement and then hopefully reduce your risk of injury. So again, my name is Elaine Bintz, health coach, personal trainer. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and I hope everybody has a great day. Bye!